Are we up? Are we up? Yes, looks good. Looks good. Audio check. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, gang. Good morning, gang. Ready for another exciting. Where were we? Where did we leave off? We're just finishing this sky block. Then we'll start a new block. We'll do this new block for the water. Good morning, gang. Good morning, gang. Okay, Saturday here. It's going to be a quiet day here for sure. Outside there's going to be a few people walking here and there, probably not much. The last few days have been really quite unusual for us here. Asakusa has been actually busy. We haven't had parties, of course. We've closed our print parties now for till whenever. But the shop itself has been busy. Even sales have been up the last few days. Is the paper out? Yes, there is paper to take out. The girls are still working upstairs. There's, who's coming today? 4 people. 4 people. Ayumi-san is working on last year. She's working on the October print from Japan Journey. Kawai-san is working on the Samus print from Yukio Hero series. Rei-chan is working on the 4th print in the current Woodblock Pilgrimage series. And Sugi-san is doing test, not Sugi-san. She's doing test printing tomorrow for the Kiku no Kaori. Who else? Ishikawa-san, she's working on print number 4 as well. Olympic banners are still up, of course. Of course, we're not going to give up on that one just quite yet. There might be a new name to watch for at some point here today in the stream. It's a bit early right now, but at some point, or maybe on Saturday he won't drop in. Cameron might now and again drop in on the stream today and or Monday and or Thursday, whenever. Cameron isn't working here anymore. What I mean is he's not working in this building anymore. He's taken his workstation home as of last night. It's the weekend now, so he's probably not even going to turn it on Saturday and Sunday, but he will be working at home for the foreseeable future. So there'll be no more sidekick here on the streams this next week. It's just going to be me here. But I think he may drop in on the stream now and again, who knows? And the question, I guess, how is Mocha Hong Kong? How are we going to weather this this crisis? Not really quite sure. Our business basically has 3 legs. We think of it here basically as a tripod with 3 legs. The Asakusa shop, which is mostly for visitors to Japan, where we do the print parties and sales, that's now going to very much slow down. We're still here, we're still open, but it's clearly going to slow down over the next few weeks, few months. Print parties are already closed. But behind that we have 2 other aspects to our business. One is the online shop. Prints that are here in our shop and our catalog, of course, we sell online. And as long as there's airplanes still flying around the world, and as long as there's postal services, we should be able to offer that service. Then, of course, we have subscriptions, which at the moment is handling okay. Of course, if there's a gigantic recession everywhere, and people everywhere lose their jobs or no longer have discretionary money, then of course our online and our subscriptions will also suffer from that, of course. Just where that's going to go, we can't see. At the moment, we're holding all our staff. Nobody's been laid off. Even the people who are doing the print parts, we're still coming in. They're all they're hourly paid people. They're still coming in because at the moment we still have work for them here in Asakusa. And the printers, of course, will just keep printing for as long as we've still got cash in the bank. So this is an opportunity for us to build up inventories, to build up prints. I mean, we're sold out of a bunch of our prints, the Great Wave and stuff waiting lists, so it's our chance to make them, even if orders are not there. So until and unless the cash runs out, we will just keep going with our normal activities. Should zoom in a bit more, I guess, right? We can zoom in a bit more than that. Okay. I think what we'll do next then on this, there's no more small quiet work on this sky block. The outlines of the sky block here are already cut. We did that the other day. And the next job on this would be bang, 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 bang. And that's not so fun for the stream here. So what I think I'll do is, we'll just move ahead to the next block. I did 4 of the transfer sheets the other day, so I'll get another new transfer sheet ready. And we'll figure out where the river needs to be done. And then we'll paste this down and start cutting on a different block here. Let's see, let's do this. Now in the case of the river, there's a couple of places where I'm not quite sure what to do here. The river's going to be blue, and there are some rocks in the stream that are actually snow-capped, so they will be white, they will be left out. And there are some trees here, and I don't remember, do these trees, they haven't got actual outlines. Some of the trees he drew with outlines, which are going to be a puffy, snowy tree, and some trees are just done as lines, which presumably is just wintry stuff. But should we put some snow in areas on these trees? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. I'll pop up for a minute here. I'll pop up the original Hiroshige print. Here we go. And we can see down on the down on the island there. Yes, there are. There's some trees on the island, and they do have snow up in the branches. So we need to create some snow here and there. then the snow, all the rocks inside the river seem to be snow-covered rocks. So yeah, so let's put some snow on some of these trees. The problem is I can't go backwards. If I print a blue first, I can always cut snow later. But if I cut snow out of this now, I cannot go backwards. So how should we do this? Let's see. I think we'll just sort of copy the same kind of thing we saw back on the other trees. There's no reason to make different kinds of trees. I know Randall has just, he's given us these, puffy circles around all the trees. So let's just do a couple more here. I think maybe now that I think about it, the reason he didn't do the puffy circles on these trees is because there's lines showing the water flow here. So we won't have black lines, puffy lines, but we'll have some. Let's just try some. Let's see. I think that's it to show. This is foam. Is it raining out there already? Hey? I better watch my camera if it starts to rain. I'm going to leave some water showing through the branches below the puffy snow trees. You mean like here? Yes, 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 absolutely. Is that it? Something like that? Does this make sense? The water up in the waterfall, there's a foamy area at the bottom of it. More water, more foam, blah, 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 blah. Rocks and stones, some puffy trees with water flowing around. I might leave this white. It may make it look like there's snow on top of the bridge. Maybe it's the same thing here. Yeah, let's do that. This white line here, let's leave that as white. It'll look like there's white snow on the bridge. Is that okay? I think that'll do it. This up here isn't water. It sort of looks a bit like water flow, but it's not. This is a cliff up in the mountain. If I pop up the original again just for a second, it's kind of small on the original, but you can see it. There is. Just below my finger there is the same zigzag pattern. And it's a path up in the mountains. And in the original, just below my finger, just about there, there's a guy walking. There's a person walking in the path in the mountains. So. Someone's asking me, what about the snow on the rocks? What about the snow on the rocks? Well, I've left all the rocks at the moment completely white, and it could be that once we get to the next stage putting grey in, there will be grey tone at the bottom part of some of these rocks. I think that's in the original. Some of the larger islands, the rocks in the stream, have grey at the bottom of them, so they look like there's snow on top. Someone said, I didn't know you drew the illustrations. I don't. This is not my picture. This is from Randall Hall, a tattoo artist in Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina, Carolinas somewhere. And I didn't draw this. I am just now making it. We're making a print based on Randall's design. Randall drew these lines that you see here with a brush. We put them on wood and carved them. And as part of this workshop's production of turning it into a print, we will be doing lots of the ancillary work. We're going to decide where the grey tones go here. We cut the blocks and we print it. Okay, I think that's ready to go. Now, we talked about this before. It would have been really nice if we'd been able to put the sky and the river on one piece, like carve one block for the sky, print the sky, and then cut the river down here and print the river down here. But they're too close at one place. And we're also going to be printing the sky multiple times to do the gradation. So what we've done is we split them onto two blocks. This will be the sky block, and probably some more for the corners, grey stuff down here later. And this sheet will be the river block, and maybe, perhaps, up in this area here that's isolated, we might do some grey blocks for some of the grey shading. Remains to be seen. Who knows? But for the moment, we'll just cut the river area on this. So I now need to find another piece of wood. Actually, I think the back side of that one will do, because it looks really quite smooth and clean here, not so much grain. If I put this right here, except there's a dot there, there's a speck there. Right in the wrong place. So if I move this out, yeah, there's a defect in the wood right there, and it will fall in the waterfall. So I'm going to need to move this to a different place than we normally put it. How big is the original? The original is big. It's too big to fit on the screen. It's three, I'll pop it up again. This is three large prints. Each print is about the same size as our Great Wave, you know, our typical Japanese ukiyo-e. And this is three of them. So it's big. It would be like, no, not a meter across, but 2.5 feet, nearly 3 feet across. Oh, information on the series, it's 8viewsofcats.com or nekohakkei.com. In English, all in lettering, 8viewsofcats.com, or I think 8 as a number, 8viewsofcats.com will also land you in the same place, I believe. I don't remember what URLs I bought. What domains I bought, I don't remember. So, nekohakkei.com. So, and I am really, really well behind on an update page for that. It's on my list of things to do. It's really close. It's on my list of things to do. Right here, look at the top of my list of things, second on my list of things to do, 8 cats page update. So, I doubt I'll get through today, because today I am in the shop all by my lonely. It's just me today here. Well, if you're trying to find an image of the original, just go to ukiyo-e.org. Go to this one. Just go there and search for Hiroshige and Kiso, K-I-S-O. It's the Kiso Mountains that is the original print here. And you'll find lots and lots of copies of the original. He says, "Lux, always this dead on a Saturday morning." Well, at 8:30 in the morning on a rainy day, yeah, it's dead. This is not like virus dead. This is what it normally is like here, I think. This is a nightlife district, mostly. Crispy, crispy. I sharpened this yesterday, it's really nice now. Double check here one more time. There's a ding in the block here. Somewhere in the process of making the wood and planing it and shaving it and me storing it and bringing it downstairs, there's 2 dings on it. This is almost clearly probably my mistake. At some point when you're carrying these around, if you're not careful, you touch them and bang against each other. And the corner of one, if it pops into another one, and I've got 2 triangular dings. Bing, bing. I've just got to make sure that those dings fall in a non-color area. Somebody was careless, probably me. And if I had put the paper down in its normal place here, that little ding falls right in the waterfall. So we would have a white triangle in the waterfall. So I've moved it out a bit farther than my normal place here to make sure that that ding falls outside of the color area. The rest of it seems clean and clear. Let's paste it down. Did I end up using the first block that was too spongy? Do I remember this? What did I do? Did I do a false start? I don't remember, I'm sorry. I don't remember the story here. If there was a block that was no good, I tried carving and had to throw it away, we would have just thrown it away upstairs, I'm sorry. I don't remember that. Yeah, that's right, I did. I did a section twice. I don't remember what happened. Oh, did I put enough glue? Maybe. Moisture and heat, yeah, it's possible sometimes, moisture and heat to bring them back up. But this is a little triangular ding that goes right down inside. If you've got sort of a, imagine if I got something like this, if it's a rounder kind of a thing like that, then yeah, you get some steam, you get a piece of paper, put water on it, make it wet, put it, and then you'd use a hot, like a soldering iron on the back, psst, and the steam pushes the wood back up. But in the case of this little triangular ding, I don't think that would be effective. It's far better for me here just to keep away from it. Sharp, deep dings don't respond well to that steaming technique. Okay, here's the first layer. This is not our famous peel. This is the vacuum sheet coming off. It's done its job. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Let's see. How are we going to do here? No idea. Let's try. A little bit left here. Okay, looks nice. Good, 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 good. Super stuff, you know. Well, it's about half of the paper or more. Maybe it's about 2/3 of the paper has come off. It's hard to say exactly. It's just cool stuff, you know. You've done your job and now you're going to be tossed. 7.5. 7.5. My God. Let's see you try this. 7.5. David KP's peeling soon. On Twitch? On Twitch? Small things if you use small minds. So. Will you be reusing the other side of the block, the upper part? Yes, as I said, almost certainly. We're not planning this print right to the end. We're going to make this up bit by bit as we go along. The block I'm doing now will have this part of the river, and then there's quite an empty space at the top, and maybe, for example, the grey that's in this valley here might easily be printed on this block, because we're about 3 fingers away. Our general rule, we'd like to keep what we call yubi sanbon. This is really sort of yubi nihon, I guess. It's 2 fingers, but whatever, we'll see how it goes. But yes, so I'm just going to cut around the river. We're not going to clear away all the extra waste with chisels just yet. Nice camera quality. Have I posted information on which camera? It's nothing, it's a Handycam. I bought it and used it. It's a JVC Handycam. I use a Handycam for this rather than a Canon print or something, because it autofocuses. It usually keeps a really good job on focusing. If I put my hand in, it'll refocus. If I take my hand out, if I move around, it's really good on focusing. And then the cameras are HDMI output plugged into a video interface made by the Magewell company. It's Magewell, Magewell, and I'm using what's called a USB Capture HDMI Plus is the product name. I have 2 of them. One is the camera that's outside. It is raining, you know. Let me go and check that camera. If it's under the water, I got to get this thing moved. Excuse me a second. It's not really pouring, it's just the okay, let's get some work done. Not much work happening here this morning yet. this out. Top of the bridge here, we can actually see the water through there. But if I take this out, it'll leave it white, and I think it'll look like white on top of the bridge. There's two thoughts, maybe it's supposed to be a handrail. If that's a handrail, then we're supposed to see through it. Let's make a thin strip of white. We can always widen it later if we need to. Well, your ring light on the scope, that's interesting. So I don't use that, it's interesting. But when I first got the scope, I had a ring light for it that went around the lens and shone straight down. And it's super bright and super clean. And if we're trying to do video on this, I think we'd need such a thing. I avoid that myself because I like the side light. I like to see the actual shadows on this thing so that I get this feeling of the 3D on this. But yeah, ring light is really super clean and bright, easy to use. Some of the lines are thicker than others. How do I determine exactly where to carve on a thick line? It doesn't really matter, nay? This print, the key lines are going to be fairly dark. And this is now going to be the block for a blue pigment, which is lighter than that. So as long as I'm somewhere in the middle of that line, the edge of the blue will probably be invisible. If the key was going to be printed really faintly, in a faint grey, then the blue, and if the blue were darker than the grey, then the blue would show, the edge of the blue would show. So then you've got to think about where to make the edge of the blue. But because the black will basically cover it, for this print, it doesn't really matter where I'm going to carve. Questions, questions, questions. reground my 4.5 balloons to 20 degrees. Cool. Based on the conversation the other day, that's cool. we tell people are doing it. Great. Good. I know you've made guitars before. Have you ever done stained glass work? Yes, I made a chessboard for myself. It's still in storage somewhere in the basement of the Ome house. A friend of mine, Greg Oriel, and I, we were nuts about chess. Once a week or so we'd get together, we'd see the sun up playing chess. And I made a stained glass board with a case inside it, an antique thing. The pieces went underneath it and they go on top to play chess. I haven't seen it. It's in a box in Ome. How old is it? 45 years ago or something. I don't know. Getting damp outside. It's not downpouring now, right? It's okay. I brought the camera back. I brought the camera back a foot or so. It's not inside there. Where did I get the mist sweater? I was like, it's time for a change too, actually. Jed Henry bought this for me as a Christmas present 2 years ago. I think Mist was on a 25-year, this must be last year, and it must have been their 25th anniversary, so I think some people made the sweatshirts. And Jed Henry, knowing that I had played that game years ago, Jed Henry sent it to me as a Christmas present. I was chatting with Jed this morning on Skype, just when I got up before the stream here. And I guess schools in his area have been closed, so he's got his 4 kids at home. What fun that would be, my God. Jed works at home, you know, designing and stuff, with 4 kids at home. I said fun, not in a sarcastic way. It would really be fun. His kids are old enough now to, not all of them, but a couple of them, 3 of them, where they're old enough to be useful and helpful and do interesting stuff together. Area like this is going to be water, it's going to be mountain, but there's no actual line between it. I got to be careful. If I cut too much back this way here, and then later on a grade block without thinking about it, I got too much back here, there'll be a funny space in between. So I'm going to bring the water here probably farther than it needs to be. And I'll try and remember what I'm doing. A grade block, maybe I'll cut here, bring that farther than it needs to go. And we'll overlap them, rather than having a space in between. questions. I can't catch all of this stuff. We'll never have a block with holes cut out like those rocks. I have a printing issue with paste piling up. Yeah. A couple of things. You could be using a lot too much paste. One. You cut back the paste mix in the mix. Another is the final strokes of the brush. If you've, where's a brush? If you've been rubbing just randomly, whatever, it will leave paste. You've got to definitely pull with the tips of the brush. You've got to pull the paste out of the little holes, one by one by one. So it's mix, 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 smooth, 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 tap, 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 pull the paste out one by one by one. There is one way to do it. I'm not so happy with this way myself. This brush has fairly long hair. If you use a brush with shorter hair like this, then do it, rub it out, and then tap it. That sometimes, tap it really lightly, not hard to knock paste down into it, but just tap, 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 tap. That can pull paste out of small holes like that. If there's lots of snow on a block, that's the way. Tap, 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 tap. John, not the lens rental thing you're talking about there. I sort of vaguely remember the story. Next time you hear it, might be, I'm just putting the idea on the table, it might be different now because we are actually now a company. And before you got here, if the order went in and we reserved it as a, we're actually a official company now. So might that make a difference to the rental as far as the backup and stuff goes? I don't know. Just an idea on the table here. You couldn't do it easily because you were like a tourist and never worried about the camera leaving the country or something. But because we're an official corporation now, perhaps it might be different. I don't know. Something to explore. Just do the same thing here, and then just put a bit of snow on top of the bridge here. Okay, it's the snow on what's left of these trees. Huh? Fingernails, well, they're too long again. The reason they're clean is I had a shower 10 minutes before getting on the chat. They're too long and I gotta chop them back. They just keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. I'd love to go back to Japan, but the country is so goddamn boring. Okay. Okay. Drop a pin in any part of the country, it looks the same. That's true. It's the convenience store thing has really affected Japan a lot, very much so. It's a plus minus, you know. The part that all the country is the same can be a minus if you're looking for something different. But if you're talking about the fact that every kid in every classroom in the country gets educated and grows up being able to read and write and go to college and everything else, wherever, in that sense, the fact that Japan is mostly the same everywhere is not a bug, it's a feature. Japan takes care of everybody. And although sometimes the culture is very, very similar in every part of the country, is that a bug or is that a feature? Healthcare everywhere, education everywhere, it's all kind of the same everywhere you go. All 135 million people, or wherever they are, 25 million people. And there's also in recent years now, there's been a pushback to this thing, the homogenization of the thing from the convenience stores and that. It's finally coming to be recognized that that's actually really not such a great idea. So bit by bit now, there is quite a lot of resistance to that and change. And more areas around the country are trying to feature their individuality, trying to make products that nobody else is making, and trying to make their areas more interesting for people to come to. So there is very much a change in the wind these days. So I get what you're saying. When you come out of the train station on any given town, it's like, where am I? They all look the same. That is true to an extent. It's not 100% bug. I get the feeling people don't quite trust me to do these parts of it, you know. Dave doesn't draw, I really don't draw. So parts like this would need a tiny modicum of carver input. They're gonna leave people nervous, obviously, you know. Oh my God, Dave's gonna screw this part of it up, you know. Dave, call Jed for some help here. You can laugh about that. Dave can't draw, Dave's not an artist, all that kind of stuff. But you know, the prints that I made, the Solitude set, are still out there and they're still doing well. Like, subscription came in yesterday for them. There's lots of subscribers now for that set. There are people who are happy getting Dave's prints, the ones that he designed, so. Okay, where are we? We may be done on this one. What's this? What time is it? What's the schedule here today? 9:17. Oh my God, 9:17. Yeah. The Solitude prints now, they're not drawn. Of course, they're what's the word? They're constructed is a better word for it. Constructed. It's not just me. The Yoshida family, to a large degree too. Sometimes they construct their prints. And even Hakkei, actually, to take a kind of a grotesque example, Hakkei to a large extent too. I mean, the guy could obviously draw. I'm not trying to make an exact comparison. Hakkei could draw and create stuff from zero. But in terms of woodblock prints, a whole lot of them are constructed from pieces. And we can see these. In fact, I was seeing just yesterday, I got a book from the Victoria and Albert Museum. I had a chance to look at it last night for the first time. And in the V&A Museum, they've got a whole bunch of Handschrift block copies that are drawn and ready to be pasted down onto the block, ready for carving. And tons of them show copy paste, copy paste. There's a scene which is sketched there, and then there's people and objects, and they're on smaller pieces of gampi paper, and they've been assembled and put together, tacked down. Some of them peeled off, put a new one put on, redraw something, paste it over and redraw it. There's a lot of assembly involved in making a bunch of these prints. So it's not just outpouring of brush art onto a piece of paper, it's assembly, and that's what a lot of what I do. 9:17, show and tell. Okay, what have we got? I don't know. I'm not sure if I should show it. What have we got? Let's try it. Okay, we could do show and tell. I'm not sure if it's going to be visually interesting or not, but it's part of a story. There was an auction came up 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 days ago on Yahoo Auctions. We have a bunch of keyword searches in, and a recent keyword search I have added to my Yahoo Auction searches is washi. We're not looking to buy washi on Yahoo Auctions, but I'm looking for books and research material, anything to do with Japanese paper. And we have found actually in the past few weeks since I've started doing this that I've got a lot of stuff. Books come up on the auctions, Yahoo Auctions, and on the Kosho, the used book dealers' websites. Anyway, long story short, 4 or 5 or 6 days ago, somebody put up auctions, 1, 2, 3, 4 auctions for 4 old books created in the mid-Showa period that were research books which gave information and paper samples of a bunch of different types of paper that were made in the pre-war period. I looked these up instantly on an old book website and found they were really actually very expensive. They go for $300-400 each, these 4 books in this set. The auction started at 1,500 yen, so I put my bid in, bang, 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 just to make sure I pinned it, wouldn't forget it. But of course, as you expect, of course, other people know what's going on here. book dealers or somebody interested in this. And when it came time, close to the closing time, the books went up and up and up and up and up. I really wanted to get one of them, the one that was about Echizen Hosho, the kind of paper that we use. It's a series of books on different kinds of washi paper. But I really wanted one, even though they go really expensive. So I bid more than I wanted to bid and won one of them. The other ones I just couldn't justify buying the whole series, even though I really, really wanted the information, because they were just too expensive. These things are hundreds of dollars each in a used book dealer. Now the auction didn't go that high, but still, I can't justify spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bucks right now, given our business climate. Anyway, so the book I won, letter came from the guy in the auction. He said, actually, I put 4 of these up. He says, I got a whole bunch in the stock room. Would it be okay? 90 bucks for all 4 of them, shipping included. 9,000 yen. So I said, I'll think about it. I didn't say, I'll think about it. I sent him 90 bucks. And yesterday came a box with inside it 4 books. I don't need to take all 4 of them. They look pretty much the same, just except for the label. And these books, it turns out, he says he's got a bunch in his storeroom. He wasn't kidding. These are unopened, untouched, with the original publisher's tape on them from somewhere in the early Showa period. And these are research books done by some researcher studying lots of different kinds of Japanese paper. Now this one, Hosho sheet, this is the kind of paper we use. I wanted to find out what they have to tell me about this. Now I'm of 2 minds about this though. I want the information from these books. But what it turns out, what we've got here, we have a rare book worth, quote, unquote, worth a few $100 each, and it's in unopened, untouched condition. Now, I don't care about that. I want the information that's in here. But you get your old game cartridge from a Nintendo, and it's in the original plastic wrapping and stuff, and you bought it for $500, and if you open it and play it, there goes your value. So what am I going to do? I want the information. But these are unopened, untouched books. It's a bit torn actually too. Look at this. It's not a prime copy. I'm going to open it. It's not tapped. It's just string, right? Can I get this string? Look at this. It's tied so tightly. It's gripped. Can I get this string off and look inside and then put the string back on? I don't care. I'll never be selling. Oh, look! We can do this. Please move, move. Oh, it's going to move. I think we're okay. I think I can get away with this. I can put this back together. I can do it. I can put this back together. It's okay. String here. It's just a book, you know. I mean, really, we want the information. What is this? It's just paper folder. I'll zoom out a bit more. Where's the cover? Oh, I see, okay. Okay. I mean, I really shouldn't matter. I should just open it because, as I said, I want the information. But it does feel a bit funny because the antique value of this thing is also there. Is that somebody going upstairs? Did somebody come in the door? A book inside a book. I see. It's a what do you call it? It's a folder with a book inside. Okay. Here's the book itself. And you may laugh about this, but really the information about making these old papers is really important to us, you know. we'll talk lots more about this later, but the current paper makers, even like Living National Treasure, the level of work that they're doing is so degraded. It really is so degraded. We need as much information as we can about how it was done in the old days. What's going on? This is funny. Oh, I see. It's paper samples. I knew that's what's supposed to be inside. Look at this. It hasn't even been opened. The first here, Mizutamashi. I don't even know what this is. Water drops paper. Water drops paper. I don't know what that even means. Text. Here we go. Water drops paper. So we've got samples. Look. I see what it is. There's a pocket. That green thing is a pocket, and there's paper samples inside it. Here we go. I've never seen this before. Kanji I can't read, and then water drop paper. Look at this. And you can see it's some kind of handmade paper, and obviously there's a pattern that they've done with sprinkling water on top of it. And this explanation about how it works. Okay. But the one I want to see is the one, our paper, the Hosho. Oops, paper. More Mizutama paper. Here we go. Kizuki Hosho. Here's their explanation and description of our kind of paper. And there's a sample. Echizen Hosho, half of a sheet. Oh, what's this? Skashi Idi Hosho. Skashi, it's watermark. In English, they put watermarks in some of the papers. So it looks like we got two samples here. Let's have a look. Oh, there's two. Hi. So you're right, this is, here we are. Echizen Hosho, half of a sheet. It's awfully white. I don't know about this. It's awfully white. That looks heavily bleached. What is this? It's a nice sheet of paper. There's very little chili. Beautifully. There's no bark at all in this thing, but it looks awfully bleached, awfully white. I have to read more about this. What's this? This is the Skashi watermark paper. Oh, I get it. How are we going to show this to you? Can you see it? How can we get the camera? Can you see it with your camera there between the light? There's a bamboo pattern. There's a bamboo pattern inside the paper. And the paper's thinner at that point. I've heard about how they do this. I've never seen it done. When they're making, excuse me, when they're dipping the paper on the screen, they've got some kind of pattern that they put on the screen, and it means the paper at that point is slightly thinner than the paper at other points. Skashi iri, watermark paper. What's next? Oh, again, more. Skashi iri. Oh, the kata! Look! This is the, oh my God, I've never seen this. Another example of watermark paper. Along with it says the kata, what's the word? The die, the jig, the thing they used to make. Oh, no way. Look. Here we are. Skashi iri paper, another piece of paper with a watermark. Somewhere here. There it is. Can you see it? How do I get it onto camera here? There, can you see it there? Actually, right in front of the light there. There's a watermark inside the paper. So you could use this paper for normal stuff. It doesn't show up in normal use of the paper, but there's a hidden watermark inside it. And they have included, this is the thing. I've heard about these, I've never seen one before. Okay, what it is, it's super fine netting. It's a super fine, like a piece of super fine silk, and glued on top of this, or painted on top of it, maybe, I guess. Yeah, painted on top is some kind of lacquer product to give that pattern. And this, what they would do with this is the screen that they're making the paper on the bamboo screen, a wide screen of this would go on top of that. So it's just, mostly the water would flow through in the places here, and in other places it's blocked by this pattern. Look at this. I'd heard about this but never seen this. Wow, cool, cool, cool. If, when, tomorrow, whenever we do start making our own paper, perfectly watermarked Neko Hakkei paper. My God. What's the time? 9:30. I gotta get out of here. I'm the one on duty here today. What's next? What's next? Okay, I'm sorry. This isn't much of a show and tell because you can't really see anything. I'm sorry. But this is, for me, this is really, really... Oh, there's a picture. Look, look, look. See it? The idea. There's the bamboo screen that the paper is going to be made on, and then the watermark sheet, the watermark screen, goes on top of that. I'd heard about that before. There's also another way to do it. They take the bamboo screen itself, and you can weave or tie or put your watermark right onto that screen itself. But that means your screen is only going to be used for paper that actually has that watermark. This way you could have different watermarks you trade in and trade out. Oh, it's Rose-san. She is here today. Soka soka. You are here. You're okay, are you?
I'm alright, yeah.
You recovered from last week's cough, 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 or whatever it was?
Yeah, still a little bit throaty, but I think it's just tight. That's where it's tight and not infected or anything.
Okay. Okay, we're going to get going on this. And the next page, it's got here, Dosa Biki Hosho, half of a sheet. This is now paper that is sized. And there must be a description here talking about how the sizing works.
Different washi?
I'm sorry, I'm talking to the street. But I mean, they never explain what's going on. These cool books, I know, actually, this lady, Rose, she's working for us. She's a used book dealer. And I think I'm about to have my nuts tramp. She's going to be angry when she says what I just did. But anyway, whatever. Let's play together. Look the other way for a few minutes. Did you get the message? There's no parties now. Parties are all off, all cancelled, all everything.
Oh, today?
Every period for the ongoing whatever. Yes, this is Dosa Biki Hosho. It'll be the same paper as we just saw a minute ago, but this one is sized. Is it ever sized? Boy, oh boy, so much, so much, so much. Do they have formulas? What's their formula for the sizing? No idea. There's lots of text. You're going to dig through some of this. I don't see numbers. I don't see a formula specifically. Ooh, page after page after this. Yeah, look at this, page after page after page. There are numbers. Look at this, grams and weights and momes and stuff. Description of what they're doing. All right. Gold mine. Good. A gold mine. It goes on and on and on and on. More. Kira ide. More. More stuff I don't even know. And more volumes, 3 volumes, 4 volumes altogether. Okay. Anyway, that's enough for now. We gotta get out of here. I'm gonna take a look at this with Rose-san and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Eitone. Yeah, we need to hear more about this book. Whatever, write me a letter or something. We'll put some information up somewhere, whatever. Okay, let's get going. It's 9:30 here. It's now Saturday morning. The next stream will be Monday morning, 48 hours from now minus the stream time. And what I'll be doing is the next color block, I guess. I've got to get sorted out the color blocks for the gray inside these mountains. So more color block carving for the cat print, I believe. Then in the meantime, I will try and get an update page on the cat page for people that don't know what's going on, get more information about this. There we are. There we have it. Let's get out of here. Radiating in Asakusa, look at it, it's deserted, absolutely deserted. We're going to have a lot of time to get some work done here today. See you on Monday morning. Thanks very much, guys. See you then. And as a reminder, Cameron won't be here Monday. He's working from home. You're stuck with just me, unless somebody else wants to drop over. See you then. Bye-bye. Thanks for now. As usual, let's pop up the street scene for the past couple of minutes here, for the last minute or so. Ah, someone's at the smoking station across the road. What these books are, there's some books came up on Yahoo auction, whatever, 5 or 6 days ago. And I'd heard about these but didn't know much about them. Now we're looking for research information about paper making, because you know, at some point we're going to start paper making. And the guy popped up these 4 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, on Yahoo auctions, one by one by one by one. There was a cheap starting price, but other people started to bid. It started to get expensive. So I didn't know how much to bid, so I went up to the Kosho and they're looking at Saman saying each one.
Each one, yeah.
So I couldn't, and the 3 of them ran up too hard, but I wanted really to get a foothold here, so I bid higher on just on one of them, and did win it. And the guy wrote back and he said, well, I've got lots of these in the warehouse. How do you want? The whole pack of 4 for 9,000 yen? And
Whoa!
I'm like, okay, so I sent it right away, and he sent the 4 books, and they're right here. And it turns out that what they are, they're unopened copies. Wow. I sort of cracked the string on this first one here. That's what you're going to get angry when I looked here. I didn't cut it, I just cracked the string. I need the information. I want to read what's inside these things. But also, just maybe you might be interested in this. He said, I've got a bunch in the warehouse. 9,000 yen for the 4 if you want them. So I bought these, and presumably he's got a lot more. So in your spare time today, or whatever, have a look. Yeah. Google these up or whatever. Yeah. And if you I'm not going to get into the used book dealing business myself, but if you are interested, there might be something here. But it turns out what they are, and there's no date, there's nothing on these. I had heard they were early Showa.
Yeah, they look Showa.
But there's no colophon, there's no date, there's no sticker, there's no nothing anywhere on this thing.
Okay, let's have a look on it, see if I can find something.
But the chitsu here, this looks plastic.
Yeah,
they're not bone, they're plastic, so that makes me thinking that this might be some kind of later edition or something.
It might be like 50s, 60s.
I really don't know. But myself, our interest is the information.
The information.
But it turns out, did you see as I was in the stream there? They're full of paper samples. And there's an actual, for example, this one, how to do watermarks.
Oh, that's really cool.
There's an actual watermark. They've put the kata in here. So you can see how the actual thing was done.
That's interesting.
So this is kind of cool. All the different techniques, the mizu damashi, which I've never even heard of. It's obviously some kind of technique.
Right. That's really cool. I've never seen Japanese paper that has a watermark.
It's done. It's called a stashi. In fact, all those Shinhaga prints we got there from the pre-war, most of those actually have stashi. Doi Hanga ordered their paper with a little doi sheet.
Oh, it's got a
stuff
little,
like that. I better shut this down. This actually, they're listening to us here. I better shut this down. Rainy day, rainy. Okay, gang, I'm off out of here. See you Monday morning. Bye for now. Thank you.